So could you talk to me about that? Because you were raised Baptist. My father went to a Baptist church, Bible study in the front, rape in the back. So where was God for you in this?
Missing when I was a child.
Right.
In my mind, he got me through every moment of it, but I didn't know it because I prayed, the now I lay me down to sleep. And then I followed with, a rendition of, please God, don't let him come home from Vietnam. Please God, don't let him come in my room. Please God, don't let him hurt me. Please God, make him go away. I can remember rolling in the sheets and rolling myself like a crescent roll, trying to roll away from him. And he'd roll me back. And I would say, please God, not tonight, not tonight. And my prayers were not answered in the sense that that did not happen. And so there was a time in the book where I actually wrote, I stopped praying to a God that I didn't believe listened to me. I now know with every fiber of my being that he is the only reason that I survived. But not only that, he is the reason that I thrived. And he is the reason I have a voice. He is the reason that I spoke out about this atrocity.
So I wanted to talk to you about where was God in your childhood for you and where is he today? Because I notice there's either an absence or a hate. I just noticed there's a lot of pain around this for people who come through big tragedy. So again, being me, I like to talk about these big issues. And so just talk to me a little bit about that. We don't have to delve into it a lot, but I'm curious where he was in your story.
Yeah, well, you know what? God was really never in my life to begin with. I'm not really I was baptized Christian, but that's not really what I follow. I'm more of a spiritual person. I tend to believe what First Nations people believe about the Creator, the land, the universe. That's kind of where I'm coming from. I learned from a very young age that if I prayed to God, God didn't help me. And when I look all around and I hear all the stuff in the world about people relying on God to help them through this process, well, I'm not saying it hasn't helped them, but where was God when this was happening to you, right? If you talk about religion coming into this, and I've heard so much from so many people where religion was actually they're evil, that it happened to them.
Right.
So, I saw. To your question, no, God is nowhere near in my playing field in regards to my recovery or in my past. I could not. I've tried, and I was brought up on those beliefs, but those beliefs do not sit well with me. Not only from my own experience, but from what I've seen from others, and I've talked to thousands of people, literally, from around the world. When you talk about God, the first thing you're going to say is, what the hell are you talking about?
Right. Because you're right. The many offenders, I don't know if it's true in Canada, but most offenders stay very close to religion. And there is this huge thing. It's why I like to talk about it, because it's usually a very deep hurt with people.
There's really any good results from the abuse from me. It's just, I'm a shattered person. And, and the only good part is, my husband, who understood and supported me, and, and the miracle from God for, saving me when I got baptized and kind of rebuilding me,
I think, especially in high school, I think I never really grew up really religious or believing in God very strongly or anything like that. So it was kind of non-existent in my life up until about 5 or 6 years ago. I met some really, really great friends, and they took me to church, and I fell in love with this church. And I don't currently go to church at the moment, but I am always kind of reaching into myself to understand where my faith is. And, I still question. I do. I'm still in my journey finding and finding God and if he belongs in my life or not. But I feel this really strong pull to feel like the comfort of faith and the comfort of having God in my life. Mostly because I do feel like I had some help in this situation.
That's, yeah, that's awesome. And that's remarkable. And this is not any kind of religious show or
That's
anything.
where I was. So thank God, because at that point in my life, I had stopped drinking, came to a higher power through AA, realized, oh, God helps me. See, before that, I just thought God sat up on the hilltop, looked down at all of us and laughed.
With a great big stick, right?
Yes. And if you met the right person that helped you, great. Oh, you met the wrong person, he hurt you. Too bad, so sad. I mean, I just thought he had nothing to do with my life, but he created everything.
Right.
So, but not that he helped. Okay, in AA, I learned that I have a power greater than myself to restore me to sanity.
That's
you mean
beautiful.
God actually helped me? He's going to restore my sanity. He's going to help me stop drinking. His drinking was one of the tools I used.
Yes. Many of us do. Yes.
Yes. So that's when I was like, oh, cool. God helps me.
Because when God is involved and the Holy Spirit is utilized, it's like putting a soothing cream on or a balm.
Yes.
And it just was a balm, BALM, not bomb. And it was so beautiful. Like, I began to love life again. I began to enjoy life. I began to see that I had a life and I didn't have to live weighted down by anger, frustration, pain, and all those triggers that keep popping up and tripping